Hello and welcome to another episode of Clark and Addison, Born into the Ivy. I'm your host, David Butler, and I'm doing an additional midweek episode starting this week. This week's is a little later than I want it to come out, but it will normally be after the last game of the first series of the week. So if the first series is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and there's an off day on Thursday, then that episode would come out Wednesday night or Thursday morning at the latest. If it's on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, it would come out Thursday night. So that makes sense. We will preview the weekend series opponents and just have a little more informal talks about the happenings of the earlier part of the week or any other possible news about the Cubs, aka any transactions, how the Cubs played in the first series of the week. But we will not have a formal recap. That'll still be on Sundays for now at least. Remember, the best way to help grow the podcast is to listen to every episode, like the episode, share the episode with your friends, and if you have not yet, make sure to subscribe so that you will never miss an episode. Join our Facebook group at Clark and Addison, Born into the Ivy, and our newly made Instagram, again at Clark and Addison, Born into the Ivy. The Cubs travel to Houston starting tonight to play the Astros in a homecoming of sorts for Kyle Tucker, who spent parts of the last 7 seasons in Houston and was drafted by the organization in 2015, 5th overall. As we all know, he was traded in the offseason to the Cubs for Hayden Wesneski, Cam Smith, the highly touted prospect, and Isaac Paredes. The Astros are playing very well and are 15 games over 500, currently sitting at the same record as the Cubs at 48-33, and are a dominant 30-13 at home. Their pitching staff owns a 3.19 ERA at home, which is 5th best in the league, and their offense scores 4.35 runs per game, which sits in the middle of the road at 15th in the majors. They will be a formidable foe for us for sure. Offensively, they are led by shortstop Jeremy Pena and third baseman Isaac Paredes. Pena looks to be having his best season yet this season, leading the team with an OPS of 877, and Paredes is bouncing back from a disastrous second half from last season with us. To be clear, before anyone says we shouldn't have traded him, Paredes likely would not have the same numbers with the Cubs as he does with Houston. I truly believe that. The Astros pitching staff is led by Framber Valdez and Hunter Brown in the rotation, and Josh Hader and a plethora of other great arms in that bullpen. All are nearly unhittable at times. The pitching matchups for this weekend are as follows. Friday night, Cade Horton versus Brandon Walter, a lefty. Saturday, Colin Ray versus Ryan Gusto. And Sunday, Jamison Tyone versus Framber Valdez. So the good news is we will miss Hunter Brown in this series, but we will face the lefty and Framber Valdez, which seems to be our offense's kryptonite right now. Walter, who pitches tonight, is also a lefty. The Cubs against lefties this season have an OPS of 783 on the road against left-handed pitching. That sounds pretty solid. They have a walk rate at 7.4%, which has dropped some from what it was. K rate at 19.6. None of this is outrageous. However, right now, since the beginning of June, the Cubs' OPS against lefties on the road is 600. A walk rate at 5.2%, a strikeout rate at 23.9%, a WRC plus at 66, and for the season the WRC plus is 116. That's a huge drop-off. Most of the lefties that we faced recently have been really, really good. I get that. So that's going to play a role in some of that. But the Cubs have a problem with left-handed pitching, specifically great left-handed pitching, or very good. But it's still a problem no matter who the lefty is, I think, right now. We're going to find out. Hopefully they can get to Brandon Walter, but this kid has pitched 4 games so far and gone at least 5 innings all 4 games. He's only had 1 hiccup, and that was in his last start against the Angels. He gave up 7 runs in those 6 innings. But before that, he had given up 0, 2, and 1. He's given up 4 home runs total. 2 of them were in his last start. This is going to be interesting. Like, we need to come out early against this guy. Early. And Valdez, like, we just got to pitch well. Like, it's kind of scary, to be frank, that he's going against Tyone, because Tyone hasn't been great the last couple of outings. So we'll see. Like, this is going to be an interesting series. To be frank, I am hoping that we win one of the 3. I know that's a doom and gloom. Probably, like, nobody wants to hear that. I hope that we get one game. But I think that that's a win. I mean, we're going in against a team that is very, very good at home. 30-13. It's not like we're bad on the road, but we're playing a very good team. I think taking one of the 3 is a win. Now, having said all that about the lefties, I think the most winnable game for us, on paper, is tonight, Friday night, Cade Horton versus Brandon Walter. Saturday scares me. With Colin Ray starting, it scares me a little bit. I don't know why it scares me so much. Well, actually, I do. Colin hasn't been pitching great. I think he's capable, but we'll see. Actually, as I look right now, there's not depth. Ryan Gusto was the announced starter, but he is not the announced starter anymore on Saturday night. So we'll see how that plays out. I don't know what's going on, if there's a possible injury with Gusto or whatnot. But, I mean, I think we can get to Gusto. I just worry that they're going to get to Ray, too. And that's just being realistic with that. So, I'm going to say this as far as trade market. I'm going to wait for Sunday to go more into details about that. But I think that something we need that has come to fruition pretty glaring recently is we need a right-handed bat that can hit lefties in the worst way. And the best spot to put that is third base. Matt Shaw, when he came back up, was hitting the ball hard, but he has reverted back offensively to the player that he was before he was sent down. He's not hitting the ball hard. It's inconsistent. He had a nice hit yesterday, but it's not very consistent, and it's very, very sad that's because you want to see this kid continue to progress, and I think that he has the talent to do so, but he presses, and when he gets frustrated and he knows he's not performing the way he can and should, he starts to press even more, and that's very obvious when you try and watch him when he's going through that. So I think that they need a third baseman. I think that's the best spot to get a guy like that. Matt Shaw is playing incredible defense. He's still very valuable to the team. I don't know if they can figure out a way to keep him on the roster as a defensive replacement. He can play other positions besides third base too. I know that's where they want him to eventually be. But for the rest of the season, after you get somebody else like that, I don't know who. I haven't done the homework that I need to. I will do that for Sunday to be able to speak more educately. That's not a word, but to speak better about it and have an idea of who they can get. I will be ready for that on Sunday. But I just think that that's something we really need to focus on doing. All right. The All-Star voting, Phase 1, has finished and completed, and the Cubs have 3 players who moved on to Phase 2. Carson Kelly will be going against Will Smith from the Dodgers at the catcher position, and P. Crow Armstrong and Kyle Tucker are both in the group of 6 outfielders who move on to Phase 2. Voting starts Monday at noon and goes through Wednesday, July 2nd at noon. Vote for your 3 Cubs players. Vote, vote, vote. We want to get those guys to the All-Star game. Very exciting, especially Kyle Tucker. We want to show him the love, how much we love him, how much we value him. And PCA has just been electric and just absolutely amazing. So, Let's show those guys the appreciation that they deserve for sure. Two more things on the docket here today. I want to talk about, so yesterday was game 81. We're halfway through the season, which is incredible to me because this has just been such a fun season. It's flying by. The Cubs, after 81 games, are in first place by 3 games over the Milwaukee Brewers, who are a 45-36. This team just doesn't go away. They are getting ready to play Colorado while we play Houston. This is a huge weekend for us again with the Brewers. The Cardinals are in third place at 4.5 back, 44-38. That's just, it's a surprise. Cardinals are playing good baseball. And the Reds are 42-39, 6 games back. Pirates are 32-50, 16.5 back. But if you had told most experts, people who do lots of different things with baseball, the 4 teams in the NL Central were going to be above 500 and within 6 games of a team that was 15 games over 500 at 48-33, which is where the Cubs are, I think people would have laughed at you. Nobody would have thought that the NL Central would have been this good. I saw a graphic yesterday, or maybe it was the day before, but it showed that the best winning percentage by division for all 6 divisions, the NL Central was at 520, tops. Best division in the league. Top to bottom. Best. Doesn't mean that they have necessarily the best 2 teams like the NL West with the Dodgers and Padres. The Giants are right there too. But just, it's a really good division. And I get the NL West is a very good division too. 4 teams above 500. That is fantastic as well. Colorado brings them down quite a bit. And that matters. That's part of their division. So, I also want to talk about Ben Brown. I've been a huge fan of Ben Brown and a proponent for him. Sending him down was the right move. I was initially wanting Colin Ray to be the first guy out of the rotation because Ben Brown has been really good at times, but he's been really bad. And when he's been really bad, he's been bad. There's a lot for him to learn still. He needs to develop a third pitch. I talked about this before on the podcast. If he can get a changeup, he doesn't have to throw it a ton, but he has to throw it just enough for hitters to be ready and be looking for it. That will make a gigantic difference for him. If that knuckle curve is not perfect, he struggles. He struggles. And that was evident. And as much as it sucks, the best thing for him long term and for the team is to go down, work on that. I think it sounds like they're probably just going to push him 1, maybe 2 times through the batting order. He's still going to start for now. I think he ends up back up here at some point probably. Probably coming out of the bullpen though. But they want to keep him in case there's an injury or something. I get that. You want to keep him stretched out for now. But this kid has a bright future. I truly believe that. It just stinks that he couldn't get it put together to be able to stay on the roster right now. But the best thing, and I know I'm repeating myself now, best thing for the team right now is to go ahead and send him down like they did. And we need to find, we got to get at least 1 starter in the trade market. Probably 2. Don't forget to join our Facebook and Instagram groups at Clark and Addison, Born Into the Ivy. Leave some posts or comments in there about what you'd like to hear or what you thought about today's episode. However you subscribe to your podcast, please like and subscribe to Clark and Addison, Born Into the Ivy, so you don't miss out on any of our future episodes. Also, if you feel so inclined, please make sure to leave a 5-star review and leave me some comments. If you are enjoying this podcast, make sure to tell and share it with any of your friends who might be a Cubs or just a baseball fan. Have a great day, and let's go Cubs. Paisley, send them home.
Go Cubs, go!
Living on the water, counting days since last summer.